Guys, it's that time of year again. For a limited time, you can get any pair of jeans, chinos, or pants from Barbell Apparel for just $99 each. Have you ever struggled with jeans that hug your quads just a little bit too snug? Well, I've been there, and that's why I'm stoked to tell you about Barbell Apparel. I've been rocking their gear for a while now, and the comfort and fit is unmatched, especially for those of us that don't skip leg day. Barbell Apparel is stylish and functional, built to power whatever your workouts, your work days, and your adventures demand. But let me give you a quick heads up. Barbell has sold out 8 years straight, so don't miss out on these deals. With a lifetime guarantee and a size exchange guarantee, wear it, use it, live in it. If you have any issues at all, Barbell will repair it or replace it for you. So go to barbellapparel.com, grab yourself some new pants, level up your wardrobe game, or just click on the link below. Did you ever see a fight at school? Could be any grade. We'll call it from first grade on up. Did you ever see a fight at school? You ever see something on the playground? If you just said yes, if your answer is yes, then you just saw one or more kids do something they did not want to do. If you have seen a fight at recess, if you've seen a fight after school, you have seen one or more kids do something not only that they didn't want to do, they did it specifically because somebody else told them they were scared. 100%, not maybe. Not maybe. Every playground fight story ever, there has never been two kids that then want to fight. Ever. Now, I'm not talking about a skirmish that just something happens, right? Somebody gets shoved, somebody gets, it happens right now. Spontaneous. I'm not talking about spontaneous combustion. The rules of the playground carry over to the octagon 100%. And if you ever try to ignore that or think that there's a higher level of sophistication, you're not going to make very much money. You're going to lose your audience, but you're going to lose your locker rooms as well. You're going to be disconnected. This isn't a sophisticated thing. If it worked on the playground, it'll work here. If it does not work on the playground, it's not going to work here. Now, when I talk about where some classmates, somebody got the idea, these kids are going to go and do this. These kids really don't want to go and do it. Nobody wants to fight. So to find a reason to get them to fight. It doesn't matter if you throw out some money and then you got to throw out some more money. Like, it doesn't matter what the pot might be. Nobody wants to fight. So, in the process of being called out amongst classmates, of being called scared, one kid steps forward, he's going to do it. The other kid, God, you're not worth my time. Oh, what are you, scared? Boom. Off we go. That is the starting point. Now, how many times can one kid put up with hearing it and still turn the other cheek? How many people can he put up with saying it and still turn the other cheek? These are all conversations you can have, but if the fight actually ever finally happened, it might even be both guys. But you've never seen a fight ever, aside from spontaneous combustion, where the element that I just described, that one, if not both of them, are there because of public pressure. And we used to do that over here. We used to do that. We used to not all get along. We used to call each other out, and it would come from the top. And could you imagine if I put myself, I'm in the position of Dana White. I'm calling those guys out. For sure. For sure. I called these two guys and they wouldn't do it. The Sheik just did this, by the way. The Sheik just did this between Tyson Fury and that dude with the weird voice. And he said it will go $10 million to whoever does show up. It's not a fine to the person that doesn't show, but if it's going to be $10 million to the person that does. Oh, by the way, when I rebook this fight, I'm going to put a killer co-main event. And you want to know why? Because if this fight falls apart, I'm going to still hold the event, which is why I'm already going to have a plan B. It was incredible. It was such incredible storytelling. It was such incredible fight promotion. And I can assure you, they will both show up. Just so you know, like whenever you put that caveat, all of a sudden the sport that's plagued with injury, all of a sudden injuries don't happen. It's just a miraculous thing. But it happens, and it happens on time every time. So if I'm in the position of Dana White, and I've got guys under contract, I have signed them. I'm taking all the risk. I've got to find a way to find the scratch that this guy that has no fans, right? I mean, it's one of these situations. So when I call him, the answer is yes. There is no other answer. If somebody on my team calls you, maybe it's not yes. It might go round and round. You play a game. There's all sorts of things going on here. Bureaucracy, politics, strategy. You go right ahead. When I pick up the phone and call you, it's only yes. There's nothing else that comes out of your mouth. Nothing. Which includes, I'll think about it, right? With the in-between. It's not always just yes and no. It's something that could just extend my time. When I call you, it's a yes. So I only bring that to you for the level of frustration that would create within me, within Chael Sonnen. If I'm in that spot and I'm trying to pay you for the job, not to mention, okay, your interchangeable mediocrities. You can throw any of you in there and off the show goes, not to mention the business largely is going to follow that. I mean, it's a totally different business now. I'm not saying that is the way it would have been. Largely, broad stroke, largely. So if it's ever a case where I'm calling you, it means I need you. For whatever reason, or maybe it's internal. Maybe it's just a fight that I want. Whatever the reasoning is, if I'm the one that's calling you and I'm the one that's paying you and I'm the one that took the risk on you, you tell me yes. You don't disrespect me in that moment. So if you get guys that are saying no, and obviously out them, I would have told, just like the Sheik did. And the Sheik hasn't said between dude with weird voice and Fury, he hasn't said which one of them bitched out, but you got one of them sitting there with a paper cut to cancel the fight. The second time the fight has been bounced due to the same guy. I mean, it's one of these situations. I'm not going to rule judgment. I'm not going to call you out, but here's the date where I am. And I'm going to recognize it. I'm going to make a show of it. I'm bring the other guy in. I'm going to call him the winner, and I'm going to hand him $10 million. That's a show. A lot of people tune in to see that. That's a show. Something's now happening here. So I'm just sharing for you. It's one of these spots where what is happening at 300? Who is saying no? Whose phone has rang? Now, Jon Jones comes from the old school. You want to know why Jon Jones came out and said, I got a call for UFC 300 for the main event? He wasn't trying to out the organization for not having a main event. He was trying to get in front of something. He was worried that you would all hear that he bitched out from a fight, so he wanted to be the one that told you. Hey, let me just let you know. They called me. I stopped them right away. We didn't get to opponent's money. We didn't talk anything. And they said, are you ready, boy? My pec is not. I told them that. We hung up and went our separate ways. That's what that was. That was a PR attempt by Jon. It turned into a scumbag piece of news that he revealed that he should have kept to himself. But it wasn't his intent. He comes from the time when we used to do what I'm speaking about. And he doesn't want that on him. He doesn't want it to look like he backed down or he ruined a show or this is UFC 159 all over again. So he got in front of it, brought that information to you guys, and for the most part it worked. Nobody's called him a chicken. Like his plan, self-servingly, but it worked. And I only bring you that because who are these other guys? Who are the guys that are backing down? Who are the guys that are saying no? And moreover, why are we, as a community, why are we coming up with all of the possible and probable guesses? I mean, the only person here who deserves to be in the main event, there's only one guy. What does deserve mean? Well, it means you're really good. It means you bring a title because we're going to do a title. And it means you've tried to get the spot. Oh, by the way, when you heard the criteria, that's going to be jaw-jocking and shocking and something that can only go at 300, can't go at 299, can't go at 301. It's going to be unique. There's only one guy. That's Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira is the only guy who publicly came out and did it. 30 and 3 and 300. I mean, he calls out Aspinall, champion versus champion. He calls out Tom Aspinall. He even gets Aspinall to agree. They even have some level of a stare down. Whether that was done through AI or not, what I'm just sharing for you is he's the only guy, oh, by the way, he's the only guy that's even asked for the spot. We have other knuckleheads that are assigned. If I was assigned to 300, do you understand what I would be doing? I mean, just for example, like I know a lot of you are asleep at the wheel, but if I have such a leg up on everybody else that I'm already assigned to the card, Do you know that it would be a non-stop lobby every day for me to be main event? I would never stop. It would never end until somebody else had it. Nobody's tried to get main event of this. Guys that even are on the card haven't tried to get main event. There is nobody in public out there that's at least taken it to the public that is lobbying and campaigning and trying to get the main event. There's only one guy, it's Alex Pierre. And he only did it versus one guy, which is Tom Aspinall. I'm not predicting for you that fight is going to come. What I'm sharing is when we as a community have to sit down and come up with the different possible scenarios and integers that we think might play out, because we're starting at scratch. We don't have 2 guys to choose from. We don't have 8 guys to choose from. None. 0. A grand total of nobody has tried to get that spot. Nobody has lobbied for it. Nobody has campaigned for it. It is one of the more infuriating things that I have seen. But I do think that you default back to the playground. I mean, Dana said this could be a documentary in and of itself. They could do an entire show on trying to get this show to the table. Look, that's the story. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You didn't have to have a plan and everything went smoothly. This story is the story. The trials and tribulations are what helped to make it great. And somewhere it's been passed on to the boss. Hey, listen, don't come. If things aren't smooth, if things aren't planned, just kind of keep it to yourself until we get there. No, the good stuff's within the chaos. We just had the Super Bowl over the weekend. It's nothing like that in the Super Bowl. You will never have 2 teams that come together and then one of them tries to renegotiate based on the skills of their opponent. Or based on the interest of the ball. Oh, this is a big one. Oh, we gotta sit down and re-talk. Like, it doesn't happen anywhere. The tough guy business is the most plagued and cursed fake tough guys. And where they at on 300? The biggest show of all time. The biggest opportunity. Whoever main events 300 is the biggest star in our sport. It's not a question. The biggest ever. In an industry where perception follows reality, and reality follows perception. Trying to get that spot, there's nothing that you can replace it. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It will never be back. And nobody on the roster right now will be around for UFC 400. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that nobody, aside from Piera, is campaigning for.